You've probably seen this happen. Maybe it was a hard night, the kind where everything just catches up with you at once and you end up on the couch or curled up on your bed and the tears just come. And then, without a sound, without being called, without any invitation at all, your dog appears. They walk over slowly, put their head in your lap, press their warm body against yours, and just stay. They don't ask questions. They don't try to fix anything. They simply choose to be there, with you, in the middle of your pain. And I think most of us in that moment feel something we can't quite name, something between gratitude and wonder, because you find yourself asking, does he know? Does she actually understand what I'm feeling right now? Or am I just reading into this because I need it to mean something? I'm Sarah, a dog behavior specialist and the heart behind Paw Stories. I've spent years studying what dogs feel, why they act the way they do, and how the bond between dogs and their humans can be one of the most profound relationships in life. My goal is to help you truly understand what's going on in your dog's mind and heart, so you can respond in ways that make them feel seen, safe, and deeply loved. And this topic, what your dog actually feels when you cry, is one that never stops moving me. Because what the science reveals is both more complex and more beautiful than most people expect. If understanding what your dog truly feels fascinates you as much as it fascinates me, subscribe and hit that like button. It helps me reach more dog lovers who want to go deeper into this beautiful bond. Now let's get into this, because what I'm about to share genuinely changed how I see dogs and the people who love them. What your dog is actually detecting. Before we talk about feelings, we need to talk about something that often gets overlooked, and that's what your dog is actually perceiving when you cry, because it's far more than just the sound of your voice or the sight of your tears. Dogs have up to 300 million olfactory receptors in their noses. Humans have around 6 million. That difference isn't just impressive, it's transformative, because it means your dog experiences the world primarily through scent in a way we can barely imagine. And here's the part that still gives me chills. When you cry, your body chemistry changes. Your cortisol levels rise. Your sweat composition shifts. The temperature of your skin changes. Your breathing pattern alters. Every single one of those things produces a chemical signal, and your dog reads all of them simultaneously in real time. In my years working with dogs and their families, I've seen dogs turn toward their owner and start moving across the room before the first tear even fell. The person hadn't made a sound yet. They were just sitting quietly, feeling the weight of something building inside them. And the dog knew, not because they're psychic, but because they're extraordinarily calibrated to the human body. Millions of years of co-evolution with us didn't just make them loyal companions. It literally shaped their nervous system to be tuned to ours. And then there's what they hear. Research published in the journal Animal Cognition by Custance and Mayer in 2012 showed something remarkable. Dogs responded more consistently and more intensely to humans who were crying than to humans who were humming or having a normal conversation. And this held true even when the crying person was a complete stranger. What this tells us is that dogs aren't just responding to you because they know you. They're responding to the emotional state itself. The distress signal cuts through regardless of familiarity. Something in them orients toward human suffering, the science behind that look. Now here's where it gets truly fascinating, because once your dog detects that you're in distress, something happens inside their brain that goes beyond simple recognition. It looks a lot like what we'd call empathy, but let me be precise about what that actually means, because precision here matters. Dogs experience what researchers call primitive emotional empathy, a real neurological response to the emotional state of another being. There is evidence suggesting dogs have neural systems analogous to the mirror neurons found in humans, structures in the brain that activate not just when you perform an action, but when you observe someone else performing it. When you feel something, a version of that feeling resonates inside them. It's not metaphor, it's neurobiology. There's also what's called emotional contagion, the phenomenon where emotions are literally transmitted between individuals. A landmark study by Sundman and colleagues, published in Scientific Reports in 2019, measured cortisol levels in dogs and their owners over time. What they found was a consistent, long-term synchronization between the stress hormones of dogs and the stress hormones of the people they lived with. Your dog doesn't just sense that you're stressed in a single moment. They carry a piece of your emotional landscape inside their own body week after week. The dog living with a chronically anxious person shows elevated cortisol markers. The dog living with a calm, secure person tends toward lower baseline stress. They absorb us. We become part of their emotional chemistry. And this is the part I find almost unbearably beautiful, there's oxytocin, the bonding hormone. The same neurochemical that floods a mother's brain when she holds her newborn floods the brain of both you and your dog when you make eye contact, or when your dog presses their body against yours in a moment of vulnerability. A study by Nagasawa and colleagues published in Science in 2015 demonstrated that mutual gaze between dogs and their owners triggered a significant oxytocin release in both species, both at the same time. So when your dog walks over and puts their head in your lap while you're crying, their brain is literally producing the hormone of love and attachment. This isn't projection on your part. It isn't wishful thinking. What you feel in that moment, that sense of being held, being accompanied, has a biochemical basis in both of you simultaneously. Here's what I always tell dog owners when they share these moments with me. Your dog doesn't need to understand why you're crying in order to feel that you're hurting. The response is real even without the cognitive comprehension of the cause. And that distinction, once you truly grasp it, makes their presence feel even more extraordinary, not less. When this becomes something to pay attention to, now that you understand why they respond, let's talk about when it's healthy and when the same behavior might be telling you something important needs attention. A well-adjusted, emotionally secure dog will typically approach you calmly during a moment of distress. They'll seek contact but not overwhelm you with it. Here's the first thing to watch for. Does your dog settle once you settle? If you take a deep breath, if the intensity of the emotion in the room shifts, does your dog return to what they were doing? Do they relax, lie down nearby, give you space? That's a sign of a dog who's responding to your distress appropriately, but who has their own emotional regulation intact. They came because you needed them, but they also have a self. Now, the second pattern I see, and this one matters, is when the dog can't settle even after you've calmed down. When they're panting, trembling, compulsively licking, unable to eat or drink after a high emotion moment in the home. This isn't love, this is anxiety. This is a dog who has absorbed emotional overwhelm and doesn't have the inner resources to process it. And if you're seeing this, it deserves your attention. And here's what really tells me something important is happening. The hyper-attached dog who monitors you constantly, who follows every footstep, who can't tolerate even brief separations without visible panic, who checks your face every few minutes as though watching for the next storm. This pattern, what behaviorists call anxious attachment, is often the result of a dog who has been emotionally overloaded over time, who has been living on high alert for your emotional shifts for so long that their nervous system never gets to rest. I want to say something gently but honestly here. Dogs who live with chronically stressed or emotionally dysregulated humans are at measurably higher risk of developing anxiety disorders themselves. This isn't blame, it's biology. It's the same co-regulation system that makes their empathy so beautiful, operating in the wrong direction for too long. If your dog seems to carry your stress even when you feel fine, that's worth exploring with a professional. Has your dog ever surprised you with how quickly they came to you in a hard moment? I'd genuinely love to hear about it. Leave your story in the comments. I read every single one, and every story matters to me. What you can do, and what this moment really means. Let me talk about how to actually respond when your dog comes to you in those moments, because how you receive their presence matters, both for you and for them. First, let them come. Don't wave them away out of some idea that you shouldn't lean on your dog emotionally. That instinct to share your suffering with them isn't weakness, it's co-regulation, and it's real. Reach for them, pet them slowly, with long, calm strokes. Don't scratch frantically or speak in a high, distressed voice. That kind of energy escalates their nervous system instead of soothing it. Slow and quiet. Let the contact do its work. Your cortisol will drop. Theirs will too. The parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and recover system, gets activated through that gentle physical contact. You breathe them in, they breathe you in. Both of you shift together. What to avoid is reinforcing anxious behavior. If your dog comes to you whining loudly, jumping, panting, spinning, and you respond by matching that intensity with tears and distress, you're inadvertently telling them that panic is the appropriate response to your pain. Instead, if they arrive calm, reward the calm. Soft touch, quiet voice, presence, that's the version of this moment that builds both of you up. And here's what I want you to understand about building this bond outside of the hard moments too. Consistent routine gives dogs emotional safety. Predictability tells them that the world is manageable, that the people they love aren't going to disappear without warning. Intentional eye contact in calm, positive moments strengthens the oxytocin connection between you. Learning to read your dog's body language, to notice when they're comfortable versus when they're anxious, when they want contact versus when they need space, creates a genuine reciprocity in the relationship. Not just you receiving care from them, but you offering care back. If your dog shows signs of chronic stress, recurring digestive issues, hair loss, persistent appetite changes, a dramatic and unexplained shift in their emotional patterns, please see your veterinarian first before drawing behavioral conclusions. Pain, hormonal imbalances, and neurological changes can all alter how a dog responds emotionally, and a medical cause should always be ruled out. If your dog has developed full anxious attachment with true separation anxiety, if they are destructive, vocal, or eliminating in the house every time you leave, regardless of duration, please reach out to a certified applied animal behaviorist or a veterinary behaviorist. This is beyond what training alone can resolve, and these dogs are suffering in a way they deserve help for. What this bond really is. Now you know what's really happening inside that warm, loyal body when they walk across the room to find you in the dark. It isn't pity, it isn't confusion, it isn't coincidence, and it isn't projection. Your dog is detecting a change in your chemistry, your breath, your sound, your smell. Their nervous system responds to yours as though they are made to be near it, because in many ways, they are. Millions of years of shared history shaped them into creatures uniquely tuned to the frequency of human emotion. What moves me most about all of this, after years of studying it, working with it, sitting with it, is this. Your dog doesn't stay because they have to. They stay because something in their biology, their psychology, and their deeply felt attachment to you makes leaving feel impossible. You are their secure base, and when that base is shaking, every instinct they have says, stay close, don't let go. That's not instinct in the empty mechanical sense. That's love, expressed through every system a dog has available to express it. Now go look at your dog. Maybe they're right there next to you. And know that when you meet their eyes, something real passes between you. Something measurable, something ancient, and something irreplaceable. Share this with someone who loves their dog as much as you love yours. Subscribe to Paw Stories for more of this, because every dog deserves an owner who truly understands them. And leave a comment below. Tell me your story. Tell me what your dog does when you cry, when you're sick, when you're scared. Tell me the moment that made you realize there was something more going on. I read every single one, and every story matters to me.